Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be explaining to you what are audiences in Google Ads. So audiences is a way of adding an extra layer of targeting in addition to your keyword search, or whether you're using a display campaign. So in order to help you demonstrate this, I'm just going to give you one quick example of how audiences could work. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to be using a fictitious website for a dentist. So let's say if you've got a dental practice, yeah. Now, without targeting, so if you're not using audience targeting, let's assume somebody comes to your website by using the word dentist near me. What will happen in this case is you're going to attract all types of people, from adults to children to male to female, who could type in dentist near me, and they will then ultimately be taken to your website. In other words, that your ad will be shown to everyone. But let's assume that you only want to target certain types of audiences. Like you either want to target, say, teenage audiences, or adults, or parents with teenagers. So in this case, if we go back to my slide again, so this time we'll do the same targeting but with audiences. So with audiences we can have dentist near me, which is what a user would typically type in, but because we've now defined an audience, in other words like parents with teenagers, so your ad will only be shown to audiences who have typed in who have typed in dentist near me, and they are deemed to be parents with teenage. So as a result of that, you're narrowing down who your ads are being served to, regardless of the keyword that was used. So in other words, you've added an extra layer of targeting. So you're not just wasting your money targeting audiences who you might not really want, but they have typed in your particular keyword. Now in Google Ads, there's two different ways you can target people, and that's by putting your audiences in target mode, whereby you're really restricting your target audiences. So you should only really do that if you're absolutely certain who your target audience is. Or you can use observation mode. And with observation mode, you can still get the data, but you're not necessarily restricting your audience. So now I'll show you a little bit of the interface of Google Ads. So if you go to Tools and Settings, we've got Audience Manager here. So if you click on that, the first thing that you'll see is I've already got one audience defined here, and my audience says YouTube viewers last 60 days. In other words, that I can target audiences whereby people have looked at any of my YouTube videos. In order to do this, you've got to make sure that your account, your Google Ads account, has been connected to YouTube in the first place. So what I can do, I can click on this button here, and when I click on it, I get website visitors, who are people who have visited my website or certain pages of my website, app users who have downloaded my app, YouTube users, people who may have viewed my YouTube videos, or a custom list where I can import things like email addresses and so on. So I'll simply click on a website list, and here I can specify what type of criteria I want to use, whether people have visited a certain page of a website, or they may have visited one page but not another page. So in order to actually add an audience to my campaign, what I can do, I can simply go inside the campaign. I can even go inside the actual ad group as well, and then I click on audiences, and here I can add my audience. And what I can do here is I can select what's the audience that I want to apply to my list. So I can either select from here by searching for something, or I can click on browse, and here I will get further options. And now the options that tend to work really well are this option down here, that how they interacted with the website, and this can be used for remarketing. And these are what they actively are researching or planning, and this is what they may be something called in market for. So if I click on how they interacted with the website, I can click here and I can select an audience that I've already defined. Or what I can do, I can click on what they are actively researching or planning. So over here, what you'll see is you get a whole lot of interests.
and I can then type in my interests over here. So for example, I can type in, I could have even typed it in the previous screen, but if you've got a business whereby you cater for beauty and personal care, look at all these audiences like hair care products, perfume products, skincare products. Or if I let go of these for a bit and go back, I can click on, say if you're in the automotive sector, so you could do some cars, and if I sell car parts, they're great. I can click on car parts and accessories, or car maintenance, or motor vehicles, and so on. So this is the place where I would actually define who my in-market audience is. And what that means is that this is the audience whereby we know that they have been doing some type of research within this type of sector. So if I click on education, exam prepping and tutoring and so on. So if we do offer educational services, let's say at A levels or GCSEs or whatever, we can tick on this box because we know that these are people who are in market audiences. So our ads will be shown to these particular audiences. Disregard that. And similarly, if I just click on an ad here, what I can do, if I click on browse again, I can say, what are their interests? So exactly the similar type of format, or I can just do a search. I can type in like parenting, for example. And here you see parents with infants 0 to 1, parents of teenagers 12 to 17, parents of toddlers 1 to 2 years old. So there may be some services whereby like educational services, for example, or home tutoring or whatever, and you might like to target the parents because you ultimately want their children to enroll onto your educational program. This is how you can define your audiences and as well as apply your audiences to your existing campaigns, which will ultimately help you to drive more higher quality of your audiences, because not only have you targeted them via keywords, but you've also added an extra layer, which is your audiences. So in another video, I'll be going through this in a lot more detail, and we'll give some practical examples of where audiences have been applied and used. But for this video, just wanted to give an introduction to what are audiences and generally how they work and their advantages. But treat this with caution, because if you're not an expert at PPC, you could end up losing a whole load of traffic. So you don't just go in and apply your audiences. But also what you can do, you can add in something called negative audiences. Now a negative audience is whereby you want to exclude that audience. So if there is a certain audience and you say we definitely don't want that audience, we can exclude it, so that regardless of whether they're typing that into their keyword, Google will take your audiences into account and it is less likely to serve the ad to that excluded audiences. Finally, what you can do, you can also do bid adjustments at audience level. So you can have an audience defined and you can decide, you can tell Google, hey, I want to bid up or bid down on this audience. Like I want to bid up 50%, or I want to decrease my bid by 25% on this particular audience. And what you are doing, ultimately, you're trying to drive the highest quality search results to your ads. So I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe and like this video. I will be doing another video very shortly, which will be a lot more detailed video on what audiences are, how they work, and giving you some practical examples. But in order to get that, please subscribe, so when I do create new videos, you'll be the first to be notified. Likewise, if you found this video useful, please share it, and that'll help me to create more relevant, good quality content. Finally, please feel free to download my ebook by visiting ppcebook.com, whereby I'll show you how to build a great Google Ads campaign right from day one. See you guys soon. Take care. Goodbye.